Welcome back to Kales Tales, and how are you today? This video is about a writer, a Red Cross volunteer, a hunter, a fisher, so many things. That is Ernest Hemingway. Why I'm doing a video on him? A different reason. Hear me out. People think that most of you will think this some sort of educational school thing, yes, have you read The Old Man Sea, yes, go away about it. Well, Hemingway here, he was a Red Cross volunteer who drove ambulances in Europe to people say a man who loved travel, adventure, and the great outdoors. One of the most famous American writers of the 20th century. I see him as an accident, danger-prone, charismatic, belligerent, suicidal, alcoholic genius who just had cheated on 4 of his wives. What I'm talking about? Well,
the ghost of Ernest Hemingway. You're all in here clapping, going ha ha.
Now, what I'm about to tell you about a story, hand to God, you can look this up. I have no reason to lie to you. I have no reason to make this up. Either you can keep going with this video and watch his whole life and times, or I can recommend you the Who Was Ernest Hemingway book, or you can go on YouTube and listen to Randy Feltface, his bit of Ernest Hemingway. Well, Ernest, he wrote 15 books. Along with it is Who the Bell Tolls, Sun Also Rises, The Old Man the Sea, A Farewell to Arms, and, many others. Anyway, I guess we'll get on to it. Now, Ernie. He was born in Oak Park, Illinois, not far from Chicago in 1899. His mom was a musician and his father was a doctor. An uneventful childhood, such as his mom dressed him up as a little girl in girl's clothes until he was 6, from him running with a stick in his mouth and fell down and it cut the back of his throat. I mean, some of you may be thinking, oh my god, that's terrible. Well, there's more to it than that when he grows up. I promise you that. In World War I, he was going to sign up for the army, but they turned him down because of his bad eyesight. So he joined the Red Cross and transported many wounded soldiers in the ambulance. A month later, he and other soldiers got blown up in Milan, Italy, and he had 200 Schwarpel metal pieces of the bomb in his leg. That was 12 surgeries for his war wounds. Fell in love with this nurse. They decided to get married. He went back home to prepare. She cheated on him with this Italian soldier, which caused his big fear of rejection, and it would be a long time of him rejecting women before they would reject him, as a giant fear of it. So he got employed as a foreign correspondent, had many reviews with like the King of Italy and all. He fell in love with his roommate's sister, Elizabeth Richardson. They got married, moved to Paris, had a son, moved to Toronto, then back to Paris. His first book was 3 stories and 10 poems. Cheated on Elizabeth, divorced, married Pauline Pfeiffer. This is true, hand to God. He once was pulling on a cord, thinking he was flushing the toilet. Instead, ripped a skylight from the roof, smashed his head, and cut it open, his head like an egg. But don't worry, he's fine. Moved to Key West, Florida. Had another son. His dad killed himself. He shot a lot of wild animals. He had a car accident. Another son. Went to Africa for the first time to kill some wild animals and got dysentery. Moved to Cuba. Shot both of his legs while he was aiming at a shark. This is true. Let's see. Cheated on his wife, divorced, married Martha Gellhorn, published For Whom the Bell Tolls, and sold 500,000 copies. Again, cheated on, divorced, then got married to Mary Welsh, and he was done after that. Like, no more divorce and marriage, just marries the one. He injured his head in a boat accident, his leg and foot in a car accident in the same year. Anyway, became self-appointed leader of a band of village militia outside of Paris, and was brought on charges for contravening the Geneva Convention, and got away with it like a freaking boss. Anyway, he got pneumonia, went back to Cuba, spent most of his free time in his boat, tracking Nazi U-boats with a machine gun and a pile of hand grenades. Let's see, he got 3 more concussions. A lion clawed him while Ernie, he got clawed while playing with a lion. Got depression, drank too much, gained more weight, published a few more books, went to Africa again to hunt more wild animals, and you can look this up, this should be on Wikipedia. He dealt with 2 separate plane crashes in 24 hours, dealing with a cracked spine, fractured skull, third-degree burns, internal bleeding. Let's see, same year, won a Nobel Prize. He had files opened on him by J. Edgar Hoover. He left a bunch of crap in a safe in Cuba, and he and Mary moved to Idaho because he thought that the feds were following him. Of course they were. Why? Because he spent most of the 1940s working for the KGB. Anyway, Ernie suffered hepatitis, anemia, hypochromatosis, nephritis. He got committed and got too much electric therapy. He got recommitted. He spent 3 months of electric therapy again, got released, and killed himself, committed suicide. And that's the end of Ernie Hemingway. That all this is true, and like, that's the way I look at Ernie. Just and how do I put this? A manly, bitter, overweighted, alcoholic, anti-hero who's danger prone and just big women hound. And yet all that time he wrote 15 books. It blows my mind. He somehow survived so much. It's weird, ain't it? It really is, if you think about it. I just want to do this small quick video about how nuts is this small quick video of how much this lunatic is, and I just want to let you know a lot of prostitutes, like he cheated and married his multiple wives, mostly 4. It can't be as much as a mix of Mickey Rooney or Larry King, right?
Boons, me old muckers. Swings and round bundles. So I'm just making up words now. So, the man on the roof really just